I am going to start this episode. God, I really wish I knew which episode it was.
I need to find one, the episode number without us continuously
I almost want to just
starting.
guess and say that it might be 10. But that doesn't seem right. I've talked
10.
so much. So this, I'm going to try to...
There's like a bunch of little episodes here,
give
too.
This, we'll just try to come up with a... and this is on... I think I'm going to talk about this in a more broad sense, but it's what people are doing to me, so it's sort of in a very small sense affecting me. I'm sure that I'm not the only one. But when I start to feel better or move in the right direction toward feeling better, because trust me when I say feel better is in quotes, and definitely not what most people think when they get done with a cold. What I'm saying when I feel better, it means I got to walk down the stairs and maybe cook something. Or I got to take Sarah to the store where I sit in the car and she runs in. And I hope I'm not fainting while I'm driving. I mean, so just understand, my feel better is not what other people's feel better is. Their feel better is I feel better. Yeah, I'm awesome. Went out to the pub, took in a good movie, didn't even bother about the mask, didn't even worry about the mask. It was wonderful. That's other people's feel better, I think. Maybe not the pub. Maybe not the movie. Maybe not the mask. Okay, but it's something like that, right? So I actually had this stated to me. I was not feeling well and wanting to talk, and the person cut me off, telling me about all of her problems. And I said, I can't. She said, I'm sorry. I'll wait until you feel better to tell you. So this is the new thing. You know, orange is the new black. Maybe that's what I'll call this episode. Orange is the new black, although that's kind of stealing. Maybe I'll call it something like that. So basically, you know, like the new support is traumatizing. Trauma is the new support. And waiting till the person feels better to traumatize them. So let me explain this a little bit differently for people who may not understand it, because I sound so normal. Dig, if you will, a picture. See what I just did? Just threw Prince in there? And you're probably thinking of you and I engaging in a kiss. You can't help it, even though it's improper grammar. You've already done it. Now I just want to start singing a song.
I immediately thought it.
But to imagine this picture. Somebody has just had a serious surgery. They had their uterus removed or their gallbladder removed or babies removed from them. They feel horrible. They felt horrible for an incalculable amount of time. It's hard to say. It's been at least 2 months or more, probably 30 years. Probably. And they are waiting for that one moment of level 2 pain or level 5 pain. Yeah, at level 5. This is where you go, I accept it. Actually, you do that when it's 9 too. But if you get to 2, you're like, God, I'm like, this is divine intervention. Or something powerful. I know what happened to me recently. And you don't, it's during that time, right, that you're feeling a little bit better after this tragedy, this terrible surgical procedure or trauma you had, wreck, accident, whatever caused you to be this way. And this person's waiting for you to have the one good day that you might have. And you might not see another good day. For how long, Sarah? It could be
weeks, months.
Yeah. It's hard to say. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. It's certainly not going to be for 3 days. I'm not going to have a good day.
Unfortunately.
And so, especially with my life, with the bad stuff that comes in. So I was like, no. You're not, I think I said something. I think I said, no, you can't tell me. If I feel better, you cannot tell me. Like, So when I request from people not to tell me specifics about bad things, and I'm sorry that I've used a couple references in here, most of the people that I'm around actually aren't going to have a reaction to what I used. I know them. But you don't like tell somebody something that's very upsetting potentially to the nervous system or body when they finally got some reprieve. Would you go into a hospital where a kid was recovering, say, and they had some serious health struggle, and you go in there, and as they're going out in their wheelchair, you go like this, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, you know what? The doctor told me I'm gonna be okay, but I'm so tired." You can still see their color in their face is almost white from treatment, but they look a little glimmer of hope, and they smile at you. And then you decide to tell them every traumatic thing that happened to you that day, or last year, or the year, but I don't care what you're telling. No, that's not appropriate. No, just no. You don't tell somebody who's been sick forever and ever. Even I mean, you know what? Even if someone's just having a good day, do you want to really be the one who kind of rains on their parade? The way that my car is raining on my driveway, except for its oil. I don't think you want to be that person. I know I don't. It's not a pleasant person to be. Sorry, I was trying to make sure it's silent here, and I just did something unusual. Okay, I'm just making it worse, aren't I?
Amazing.
I think I just screwed the whole thing up. You're gonna have to shut it off. Sorry, I get distracted by certain noises, and I have to have constant noise on in my room to help me. And then I have to alter it at night and kind of tune it out depending upon whether or not I can hear the cars outside roaring, or Jamie barking next door, or obviously Jamie's a dog, or a really upset person, or a confused cat, and then, and or any one of a number of things that could be waging war against my poor little ears and mind and body. And it's with that in mind that I'm wondering why people think that is a good time to come in and tell trauma. Tonight, somebody that I haven't talked to since 2020, I don't even know her. Sarah luckily came in and saw that it might be a scam. But even when it wasn't a scam. So I wrote her in 2020 trying to reach out to people, and she wrote back to me like, took a long time, and then she said, "I'm so sad," and something like that. And I wrote, "Are you okay?" And she never wrote back to me. And then, so now we're in 2023. Oh my gosh. We're in 2023, and she wrote in a thing that wasn't her. "We think it's a scam." But it said something horrible happened. I have to tell you, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't good. What was there, what I read, wasn't good. I don't know if Sarah ended up seeing more of it.
There's no description.
Okay, so no description, just it was, but the wording was very charged, what I saw.
Oh,
and I won't actually be sharing it, so don't get into fight. Try not to get into fight or flight, because you're not going to hear a story. I'm not going to tell a bad story on here. See, what I found out is, if I tell you like this, and I'm not going to, this is an example. If I say this, you know what? I have some really bad news. By that point, you're already kind of in the process of having body reactions.
Fight or flight.
The fight or flight reaction, yeah. When people do this, they think they're giving you plenty of warning, when they say something like, "It's horrible what happened down the street, not to traumatize you. It's horrible what happened when I was 12, not to traumatize you. It's horrible what happened down the street with my neighbor, not to traumatize you. There was an X situation and nothing, not even a sorry. Just there was. And then what's for dinner type of talk." And I can't even say what was said to me. No, it wouldn't be appropriate. So you're probably not going to hear that. You might hear once in a while a word come out of my mouth that might sound irreverent. You might hear some profanity. And you might hear really toned down stuff where you're wondering what the hell happened. Because I won't tell you, and I won't even. I'll try to avoid those types of things that will get the body and mind wondering, because it's not a good idea. In fact, Sarah and I were talking about the oh my god, the difference between oh my god and oh my god. Like there's just a difference. You remember in high school, and maybe Sarah didn't have the joy of walking down those traditional brick and mortar high schools the same way I did. Those gigantic rectangular type boxes of misery and pain that we're all jealous of. Forgot what the hell I was talking about.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you remember in school and your friend would go, oh my god. Actually, maybe you don't remember that because that was more of like 80s, 90s talk. But it just kept going. You're like, oh my god, because oh my god, if one more person says, oh my god, the way that was stated, it was my best friend's mom saying, oh my god.
I think unfortunately that still exists in high school too.
But we all would rather hear the oh my god
in that manner
than this oh my god. And it's if something bad's gonna happen, and you never want to hear that when you're in a doctor's office. I've heard this before. Oh wow. Then nothing. No. What? Don't even bother. Skip the oh wow. Or another one I heard was this. And I said, what is it? He said, nothing. It's just X. That's not nothing. Nothing would have been what would I have heard? I'm going to show you what I would have heard. Hold on. I'm going to do it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That's the silence that would have been coming out of his mouth.
It's true.
So what I'm wondering is how many people either are not aware and they're doing this and can maybe take some time. Right now, instead of talking about mindfulness, it's kind of getting to be an annoying word. And maybe just think, do I actually share traumatic information and maybe downplay it by saying something like, I'm sorry if it traumatized you or triggered you or this or that. Do you use these types of words in the hopes that you're not harming somebody? Or do you have this happening to you all the time? Because I have it happening to me all the time, and honestly, it's undoing me. It's undoing me to the point that I have something really, really important to share, and I can't share it because I'm afraid that if I share it with the wrong people, and that pretty much includes a lot of people, that they might all of a sudden see Cheryl's feeling energetically a little bit better. And so we want to ask her 100,000 questions or, and I know actually some of the people that come and ask me questions when I'm having those moments, I don't actually think this is intentionally meant to be mean. Some people actually just see me in that state of wellness and I seem so well. I sound so well. I don't sound sick. I don't think I sound sick at all.
Most people wouldn't.
I don't think I sound sick right now. So if they see her, they're like, oh, she's a talkative gal. She probably could help me with this problem. You know what? You're right. I am a talkative gal. And I probably can help you with the problem. Maybe not while I'm falling down or just having stood up, but I probably could help you with the problem. The thing is one of the things I've realized recently is that I'm going to have a limit as to how much I can help people on a one-on-one basis. Particularly if I can do that and I don't have any way to monetize it, my skill set, or, make some sort of money off of it. Like, I just cannot. I love research and stuff. I love talking to people and helping them through certain things. Like, if somebody is in a bad situation, relationship, and it's not too, we're not going to get into too much specifics of it. I actually have a lot of information about narcissistic personality disorder, and I dealt with a lot of people with that and with borderline personality disorder, and just a variety of different things. So I actually feel like I could be a pretty good life coach with the stuff that I know, and an advocate and activist type person. But at the same time, I'm just maybe not wired to do it for free and continuously. I remembered something Sarah and I were going to talk about in the car. We were talking about it, and I remembered it when I was saying the last few words and then forgot it again. So I'm going to be listening to this so I can see if I can retrieve that last bit. But I'm going to stop this right there. I'm going to ask people to think about the way they talk to people and think about whether they're sharing too much trauma or they're saying stuff like, "Oh, don't want to hurt you, but," and then sharing some trauma. Maybe they're not recognizing it or waiting till people are feeling good or feeling better, I should say, and then coming to them, and how you might change that behavior and maybe just not share it. I'm going to have some ideas about what to do instead, though, because the thing is we do need to talk, but yet we all can't be sharing all the time. And I'm going to stop at that point. I just want people to give some thought to it, or if they're a recipient of it, I'm so sorry, and feel free to comment down below. And please don't give extreme details about horrendous stuff, as I've left it out at this broadcast. Take care.